Aaron, my friend, this is a video long time coming. How are you?
Great. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing well. So you are on semi-working vacation. You are coming to us from an RV out in
Yes.
Central Washington with your boat right
Yes.
outside, right?
Yes. Literally outside this window, there is a boat sitting there waiting for me to get into it and go out into the potholes or explore. So
Very
we're really
fun.
looking forward to that. It's nice to be able to have access to things like this to where we can do those sorts of things. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, we will not keep you too long so you can get out on the boat, but I'd love for you to start by introducing yourself to folks and just a little bit of backstory, if you would.
Oh, oh boy, how far back do you want me to go, Paul? Obviously, I'm Aaron Tyson, one of the principal owners at TNT Aerospace, currently serving as president. I do mostly sales and estimating, customer relationships, customer setup, all that jazz. Originally, my first CNC machining job was at ProCNC. I am a part of the ProCNC family for a long time now. In fact, I think that Zach and I talked about it the other day. I'm gonna say it was 18 years we've known each other. So
Wow,
it's been a long time.
that goes back.
Yeah, and we obviously we worked at Pro CNC for it was I want to say it was 2014 total. I want to say, and then
Hmm.
my brother and I both quit, went to TNT Aerospace, and here we are now, back at ProShop again.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, you and your brother worked for us, started your own shop. I think we were your biggest customer for a long time,
Yes, long time,
which was a great
very long time.
relationship.
Yeah.
And we weren't, back then ProShop wasn't yet on the market as a software product. So tell us what you did to manage your shop for a while.
Well, originally we were utilizing kind of a combination of Excel spreadsheets, PDFs and things of that nature, just folders within on our desktop and our basic computer setup. Very simplistic. There wasn't a lot to it. The good have all of the complicated bombs and things like that. ProCNC provided a lot of that. Moving on, we decided to move into a ERP system called E2, which is now, I believe it is Job Boss Squared. And that was the shop management software that we utilized for essentially up until about a month ago, from that time frame. So now we've decided to go with ProShop in response to a lot of our customers' requests for security. It's so far that I as far as I've been through it so far, it seems like it's a lot simpler to assess your processes. There's more granular information that you could take advantage of. Just getting down to profitability per machine, even per employee, it's considerably easier to pull those pieces of information out and be able to assess them capably in a quick time frame. There's a lot more options at this point. That's
Sure.
actually what we were going through this morning in our training. So that was
Okay.
really, really helpful so far.
So what in a nutshell, or maybe the top couple of reasons why you decided to make that switch? You mentioned security from customers as well, but there must have been some internal reasons, and there's probably a few, but
Yeah.
maybe just the top couple things that really.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. When I called the folks at E2, they said that because we are making inroads into CMMC compliance and certification later on this year. It being a requisite portion of your system to even do Department of Defense work, this was something that was extremely imperative for us to be able to be supported as far as an initiative is concerned. I called E2 at the time. It wasn't taken over by Job Boss at the time. And they said, we have no plans on supporting any ITAR, anything, CMMC, anything. There were no inroads on that front. That was where I made the decision, honestly. Given the amount of exposure in Department of Defense work and the fact that if you are not CMMC certified after a particular date here in the future, you won't receive any more. And, taking that amount of work out of your shop just because of non-compliance in a situation like this, which eventually will help you, insofar that you won't be hacked or anything of that nature, it just seemed like it made sense to gravitate towards something that was a lot more secure and something that just made more sense for our overall business.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. No, that's certainly logical. So then what has normally when we do these implementation series podcasts, which we'll do, a few more after this, we kind of outline what the process has been like. And so maybe tell us what's it been like?
So I admittedly have a bit of an unfair advantage insofar that I had used ProShop for an extended period of time prior to actually purchasing it for our business.
Of course.
So the good news for us was that it was a lot easier for us to understand and kind of move around it. But having said that, as it appears as though like over the years that, because we haven't used ProShop and I want to say probably 10 years in that range. Since then, it appears as though like there's just like a lot more user-friendly everything. I mean, getting around and the speed at which we can move around in the system at this point is really helpful. The visual way that things are put together as far as routing and work order and like the way that it's segregated as far as modules are concerned makes way more sense than previous system that we had. It's just there's a lot more stuff that you manipulate. There's more detail. Like you get down into like non-recurring setups. You got non-recurring inspection things that you might be tasked with like for example like a PMA provider for aerospace, where they would have to have like a particular type of inspection done initially, and then after that not necessary.
Sure. Yep.
It's having that lined out and having the ability to put everything all in one spot and capture everything visually, it's a lot simpler to use. It's all right there in front of your face.
Did you previously, did you have a combination of your main system and then spreadsheets and PDFs and other, paper things that actually would travel around the shop floor?
Oh, good. You brought up the paperless shop. So that's the thing is that job travelers were kind of a way of life for us and we didn't necessarily have a problem with it initially, but over time, job travelers just they weren't doing the job. There wasn't sufficient amount of information within the job traveler as far as current information, what's happening now, because this page was printed out 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago or whatever it happens to be. Now, the only thing that you're going to get as far as like amended notes are concerned is somebody writing on it, or something like that. And these small details, especially in an AS9100 based system, are insanely important. That granular detail is important to get out to your customer and have the ability to store and archive those things. Not having that ability is just absolutely it is a roadblock. It really is.
Right. All right. Yeah. No, that all makes sense, and those are certainly topics near and dear to our hearts. So, well, cool. Well, we don't need to. Is there anything else about just the experience so far you want to share? We can otherwise just kind of keep this short and wrap it up and let you get out boating.
Well, I, honestly, the experience so far has been it's not the same experience that I've been saddled with the previous system. I'm actually getting support. Like people tell me things that I need to know in order to be able to run my system. A lot of times in the past with the old system, there were a lot of things that were kind of hidden, and you didn't see them initially. In fact, there were a lot of things that were that way. But I'll be honest with you, like everything with ProShop is out in the open. I don't have to worry about whether or not I don't know how to do something or something doesn't quite make sense, because I can just call and ask. We have that ability, and our implementation specialist Michael is doing a fantastic job of just answering the questions that I really need answered in order to be able to make everything work. So I'll be honest with you, the support is a huge plus at this point, because before I wasn't getting it. So thank you.
Well, that's, of course, it seems like a prerequisite to having a good running system. So, well, awesome, Aaron. Well, we're excited to have you back into the ProShop family, and thank you for jumping on today. Look forward to continuing to document your progress over the next few weeks, and get you fully paperless and working from anywhere you want and doing good stuff. So yeah, thanks again.
Absolutely, anytime. It's absolutely it's wonderful to be back in the family.
Right on. All right, man. Take care. Good talking to you.
Thank you.